All right, you ready? We back. It's the Height Differential. That is the 6'6" Neil. I am the 4'10" Nick. Got plenty to talk about. Knicks winning 5, Canes winning 6. The Louisville Kings win the United Bowl championship in their first ever year, which actually was pretty dang cool.
It is cool.
And we're going to talk about that. U.S. Open is this week, which is exciting. World Cup's going on. Just you get sad because the NBA Finals are over and the NHL's over, but there's a lot to talk about still.
Yeah, there's plenty of sports still going right in full swing right now.
But before we get into it, make sure to subscribe to the Height Differential. However you listen to pods, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, rate it and leave a review. It helps other people find it. And to follow us on social at Height Differential. The New York Knicks, for the first time in 53 years, are your NBA champs. Your initial thoughts?
I mean, when we left off here last week, the Spurs had just won Game 3, and we talked about all the pressure being on the Knicks at home in that Game 4. And Matt was on here last week. We both thought that the Spurs were going to end up winning that Game 4, and that would turn the series. And by God, you blow a 29-point lead. I mean, the Knicks had no business winning that Game 4, and if the Spurs hang on, this thing could be a different series. But props to the Knicks. They've done this throughout, a lot of the playoffs. They had a big comeback against the Cavs in Game 1 of their series in that. And, they've showed time and time again coming back against the Spurs, I think, in most of all of their wins that, they came back from second-half deficits and in big deficits. And, they never quit. They never quit. And I told you, we were talking when that thing got from 29 down to 20. I asked if you were gonna, take the Knicks, and you said nah, but they did it.
Yeah, did not take that one. They trailed by double digits in all 4 of their victories. And yeah, 29-point come from behind, like the largest come from behind win in NBA Finals history. I think the second biggest come from behind win in the history of the NBA playoffs. The Spurs had 76 points in the first half.
Yeah.
And then 30-something in the second half. Like, I don't even understand how those numbers are possible. But it's just that was the tell of the whole series. The Spurs would jump out in the first quarter.
Yeah.
They would get a lead. Their point differential in the first quarter in this series was 57 points.
That's great.
They won by a combined 57 points in the first quarter. In the second quarter, the Knicks won by 29. In the third, the Knicks won by 14. And in the fourth, the Knicks won by 26. This is just the Knicks. Their run is one of the most impressive runs in NBA history. They finished 16-3. They lost 2 games in a row to the Hawks. And this was back on April the 20th and April the 23rd. And from that point on, they lost 1 game. They finished the playoffs 16-3. Their point differential is 14.9, which is the largest point differential in NBA playoff history. And look, you can talk about their road to the finals all you want. Like, yes, the Celtics getting knocked out of the way definitely helped them. The Pistons getting knocked out of the way, who they struggled against in the regular season, definitely helped them. But you got to give this team credit for you play who is in front of you, and they beat the hell out of everybody, including the Spurs, who nobody really was giving the Knicks a chance in that series. And even me, I picked the Knicks, but I picked them in 7. No, I never thought they would win in 5.
No, to win all 3 games in San Antonio, you go on the road and take care of business. And like you said, coming back from double digits every time that they won. Absolutely incredible. Jalen Brunson is probably going to get himself a statue outside of Madison Square Garden after the series he had, and put up 45 in Game 5 to seal the deal. And, he only scored less than 30 one time. He put up 20 in Game 2. I mean, he was just an absolute stud. OG Anunoby probably never going to have to buy a drink in New York City again after that tip-in Game 4. I mean,
And it
these
just wasn't
dudes.
that, dude. He was a beast all series.
Yeah, I know. Like, I mean, this team is talented. They damn near made it to the finals last year and ran into a hot Pacers team. So I mean, this team was built for this. They're built for long term success. So I expect them to be right back, kind of where they are again next year.
Yeah, you've got the Villanova threesome with Brunson, Bridges, and Hart. All three of the two championships they got with Villanova were both in Texas. And now they get this one in San Antonio. So all three of the championships they've won, include the two Villanova and the one with the Knicks, have all been in Texas. Hart was a part of the first one at Nova, but Bridges and Brunson were a part of both of them. Just like Karl Anthony Towns, we haven't even talked about him yet.
Yeah,
He had 578 playoff minutes, and in those minutes, the Knicks outscored their opponents by 258 points. The best plus minus in a single postseason by any player in the 30 years of play-by-play data. The previous high was Steph Curry, who had a plus 245 in 2016-17. The Knicks were 6-2 in playoff games where they trailed by double digits. That's the best playoff record for any team of the last 30 years. Like, just continuously just putting up numbers. You were talking about OG. So effective field goal percentage takes into account 3-pointers. So you get like an additional like 0.5 for every 3 you make. So it kind of makes up for that additional point from the 3-point line. He
yeah.
had an effective field goal percentage of 67.2 in the playoffs, which is the highest mark for a player with at least 150 field goal attempts in the NBA playoff history. And like they just played out of their head. And that's why everybody in the city of New York is going crazy. They were one of
You're
the
going
highest,
crazy.
one of the highest, the lowest odd teams to win the playoffs. I think they're the third lowest in the last 20 years. Like, and I bet it. Like this, I don't place good bets, and I bet the Knicks back in February, and it
I
can't
mean,
believe it actually happened.
they put it together at the right time. When you look, I mean, we don't know how young the Spurs are and all that, but when you look at the roster, like the starters on like the Knicks really do just have more talent. I mean, Wemby's the best player probably on the planet. I mean, if you can take Shea or Gildress Alexander or whatever, but Wemby is damn good. He's one of the best in the league. He's probably the best player in that series. But when you look at the totality of the roster and you go with, like the Brunsons and you've got the Karl Anthony Towns and OGs and like all that, like they probably were the more talented roster. And it showed. Like what happened to De'Aaron Fox?
Well,
He was
he's
he was
battling
bad.
injuries.
He's bad. He was just bad all series.
No, he was not good. He was not good. And this dude is under contract through 2029-30 with the Spurs and making almost a little over $60 million in the final year of that contract. There's a lot of Spurs fans that are trying to figure out a way to get out of that want them to
Yeah.
figure out a way to get out of that contract. He battled high ankle sprain injuries throughout the Western Conference Finals, but I don't
I
know.
mean, he had one big late. He had a big shot late in game 3 that kind of iced it for the Spurs, but he makes that boneheaded play in game 4 where he just run the clock out instead of trying to go up over OG, which then obviously led to your loss because you dribble that clock out a little bit, hit 2 free throws, that game's over, and you're going back to San Antonio tied 2-2. But the turnovers, he wasn't scoring a lot, just not good.
Yeah, it was also boneheaded mistakes, like you mentioned, and there were other quick shots too. I felt like when they could have ran some clock, it wasn't just that layup that he took to the rim that got busted. Like it's some other plays too. De'Aaron Fox was not good. He was not good, and he's a big reason why the Spurs lost. But Mitch Johnson talked about it, and like we all knew that the Spurs were really good, and I was surprised they beat the Thunder because I thought they were a little early to win it all. But once they beat the Thunder, who is the best team in the
They were best
NBA,
in the
you're like,
league
all
all
right, well, if
year.
they can beat them, they
Yeah.
can win it all. And I
Right.
think that's what a lot of people thought. But I think in the end, we found out that this team just is not ready to win an NBA title yet. They're going to get plenty of chances. That
Yes.
threesome of Castle and Vessel and Wemby, and then Harper too. Harper is gonna be a stud. He already is. Uh, they're gonna get plenty of chances to win it all, and the Spurs are gonna be relevant for the next 10 years because whoever they place with Wemby is gonna I mean, he's just gonna keep getting bigger, he's gonna fill out. And he didn't dominate the series like I thought he would. He really didn't. And I think that just is he's still got room to improve. He's gonna learn a lot from this, and the NBA better watch out because it could be really scary.
Yeah, and I think the Knicks frustrated him a lot. I mean, there's some moments that he seemed frustrated. Um, yeah, I mean, the Knicks kind of got in his head a little bit and threw him off his game. Like, he was out there pushing people around. Some might call it a questionable, dirty play from Wemby a little bit, but
Like,
I don't know.
frustration
Yeah,
a little bit.
I think there's a little frustration going
And
on.
look, the Knicks 1-5, and as a not I wasn't biased, but I was pulling for the Knicks because I bet on them. But it seemed like the Knicks didn't get as many calls as the Spurs got, just from the outside.
Hey, Mike Brown. All right, Mike Brown.
Do you disagree with that?
Uh, it's NBA officiating. I don't know. I'm sure that maybe the Knicks got fewer calls. I don't know. Sure.
Yeah. Is it the Knicks didn't their 3 losses, their 2 losses to the Hawks came by 1 point each, and then their loss to the Spurs came by 4. So their 3 losses in the playoffs, they lost by a combined 6 points. The Bulls did it in 91 and 98. So the only teams to win a championship without losing game by at least 5 points. I mean, dude, you can just keep going with these numbers, but it Jalen Brunson, like you said, he put up the points. He didn't shoot it great the first couple of games, but they figured out a way to win those first 2 in San Antonio, and then, I mean, you scored 13 straight in the fourth
I
quarter
mean,
in an exciting game. And score 45. You're gonna get you're gonna get a statue.
I would love to not shoot it great and still put up 30 in game 1. Like, he's
I
finding
agree
ways to
with that.
score even without shooting it great.
And look, let's say this: 6'1" guard, like for the small guards, proven that small guards can carry teams to championships. And look, there was a lot of people that doubted the decision when the Knicks gave him the max contract a couple years ago. And a lot of them were the Knicks fans that were celebrating. You saw Stephen A. Smith talking about it. They had highlights with him saying that he wasn't sure that he was a max contract player, but he proved everybody wrong. And it was really
He
cool to see him and his dad celebrating on the court.
Yeah, that was cool. I agree.
Anything else on the series?
No, I think both these teams will be right back where they are next year. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a rematch in 2027. The Thunder will probably have something to say about that, but I think these two teams and the Thunder will be the teams to watch for next year.
Yeah, the early odds are out. I think the Knicks are the 3rd or the 4th choice to win it all. I think the Thunder and the Spurs clearly are going to be 1 and
Yeah.
2, and they should be. I,
Yes.
I think the one thing that about this series is it really kind of defines Mike Brown's career. He's a guy that got this job a couple years ago, and everybody's like, "Really, Mike Brown?" He just got fired. He got fired from the Kings a couple years ago, and one of the last things he did was criticize Darren Fox for closing out on a 3-point shooter when they're up by 4, and he fouled him. And he talked about that in the post game, and a couple days later, he was fired. And now, I
Has
good
he
for
won a title?
he won one with Cleveland.
Oh, that's right. He was yeah. He's been everywhere. Wasn't he was a Lakers coach, wasn't he, for
He's
a
been all
time?
over the place.
Yeah. He was a Pacers coach, I think, for a time.
But yeah, I think it really did kind of define his career, and good for him. And he definitely, Mitch Johnson's a young coach. He did not win one in Cleveland. The best he did was the Eastern Conference final. So this was his first championship. But
What's
Mitch
Tom
Johnson,
Thibodeau thinking as he's sitting on his couch?
well, I mean, I was one criticizing. I was like, how do you fire Thibodeau and you bring in Mike Brown? And it
It
worked out.
worked. It worked.
Another thing that the NBA has, here's one more. The 45 points by Brunson, the most ever by a Nick in the finals. Willis Reed had 38 in
Okay.
1970. So I got so much stuff written down about this. It's hard to include it all, but our boy P Crush celebrating. Mo Egger from Cincinnati, he's celebrating. All the Knicks fans been waiting their whole life for this, and
Well, they did a lot of celebrating out there in Manhattan. Some of those
as they
scenes were,
should,
some of
as
those
they
scenes
should.
were wild.
Do you not expect? What did you expect?
I mean, I was, yeah, I'm sure.
It's and probably it's an average Saturday night in New York City.
Why were there was like 7 school buses lined up that they were all jumping on and setting on fire. Where the hell these school buses
Tearing the
come
hoods
from?
off.
Where did these school buses come from?
Just tearing the hoods off.
Yeah.
Interesting fact is it's the 8th NBA championship, NBA champion in the last 8 years.
Okay.
So pretty like a lot of parity in the NBA. The Thunder won last year, the Celtics in 24, the Nuggets in 23, the Warriors in 22, the Bucks in 21, the Lakers in 20, and the Raptors in 19. I thought a fun little exercise would be to match these up. You pick the winner, and we see who ultimately is the best champion of the last 8.
Okay.
And I ranked them by their regular season record. So the Thunder last year were 68-14. The Bucks had the worst record of any NBA championship. They were 46-26. That season was a little shortened because of COVID. You going Thunder or Bucks to move on to the semis?
I'm taking the Thunder.
Is it even?
No. The Thunder were that good last year.
In the 4-5 matchup, we have the Raptors, who were 58-24 in 2019, and the Knicks, who this year were 53-29. Tough matchup. You got Kawhi.
That's a very tough matchup
against Jalen. Who you going?
Yeah, Kawhi. Who Kawhi hit that? Remember he hit that Game 7 bouncer falling out of bounds. Send him to the. Who was that against? Do you remember who
did they beat the Warriors?
No. Who they did that? Like that shot sent them to the finals. It was Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals when he hit that falling out of bounds.
You're making me remember too much stuff.
But it was a classic shot. This is a tough one. This is a toss up. But give me the Knicks. If we're going playoff basketball, like this is a playoff, and the way the Knicks played in the playoffs, give me the Knicks.
And that was against the Bucks in 2019?
It was against the Bucks. Okay.
The 3 seed is the Lakers, who were 52-19 in the bubble year. They're playing the Warriors, who were 53-29.
Bubble year was just so awkward and
I agree.
Was it Davis and LeBron together, and I forgot who else they had on that team.
Caruso,
yeah, Caruso was there. I mean, it's just hard to go against the Warriors. Give me the Golden State Warriors in that series with Steph. I think Clay was still there, right?
Yeah. And then the 2-7 is the Celtics. 2 years ago, 64-18 against the Nuggets. They were 53-29. Who are you going with?
Nuggets were very good that year, but give me the Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum.
So now you got Celtics Warriors in the first semi?
Oh, I bet you were going to go ahead and recap the other semi. But all right, yes, no, sorry. We're going Boston Celtics in the first semi.
And then, see, I don't trust them. Like they should win. They have the best team. They figured out a way to lose. They figured out a way to win one year.
Throttled the Mavericks in that final. Throttled the Mavericks.
The Mavericks should not have been.
No, the Mavericks, they should not have been.
And then you've got Thunder and the Knicks in the other semi.
Give me the Thunder.
And then you got Thunder Celtics. You're taking the 1 and the 2 seed.
I just think the Thunder were that good. I think the Thunder is probably the best of the last 8 years, last year's Thunder team. Give me the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, they by far had they're the only team that have had a winning percentage above 800 in the last 8 years. Pretty much rolled to the playoffs. I like the Warriors. That was the Warriors kind of on the end of their. If that would have been a mid 2010 Warriors team,
Yeah.
clearly you're taking them, but that's a team on the decline a little bit. So
Yeah, if that was the 15 Warriors, the 17 Warriors, the 18 Warriors, perhaps. But no, give me the Thunder. Thunder is the best team in the last 8 years. You agree with that?
yeah, I think the record says that. I would have maybe had the Warriors beat the Lakers because I don't believe in the bubble Lakers, and
I did.
then
I
which you
had
did as well, and then maybe
yeah.
would have the Warriors beat the Celtics just because they have more playoff experience, and the Celtics always figure out a way to lose. But I don't know if I could have the Warriors beating the Thunder in the final.
Yeah, agree.
The Knicks weren't the only team to go 16-3 in the postseason. The Carolina Hurricanes do the same thing, go 16-3 on the way to win. Where the series was 2-2, and we were talking about how it was one of the best Stanley Cup finals in history. And then the Canes go on and win game 5 and 6. They go to Brandon Bussey in goal, and what that was game 4 or game 3, and then he closes out the series and they win 3 straight. Just I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I can break down hockey, but I did enjoy watching the series, and the Hurricanes I think are one of the first teams to win the Stanley Cup and be eligible for the postseason the entire season. So they were good from start to finish,
So they were
and
wire to wire, basically, is what you're saying.
yeah, at the end of the season, they've just proved to be the better team.
No, they were in the first 4 games of that series were absolutely phenomenal. I think we had 3 of them one went to double overtime. I think 1 or 2 others went to overtime, and you're thinking this is one for the ages. It's going to go 7, and then after game 4, I mean the Hurricanes just put it on the Knights. I mean they won game 5 by 2 goals, game 6 by 2 goal, or yeah game game 4 by 2 goals, game 5 by 2 goals. And then game 6, they closed it out 3-0 on the road in Vegas. And did you see the quote by the Vegas head coach that said he was leaving his clothes in the Carolina hotel because he guaranteed they'd be back there for game 7, and then they don't score a goal at home?
So he just lost his clothes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, the Hurricanes finished postseason with 66 goals, and they allowed just 39. The Knights had the most 76, but they also gave up the most 62, and I think in the end, it was too much. I will say, I do feel like this year I learned more about hockey than I have in any other previous year in my life with the Olympics, with following the Lightning, with watching the whole Stanley Cup, and I'm excited to see if it continues next year. I wanted the game 6 to be won by Vegas just so we could have a game 7.
Yeah, game 7s of any professional sport championship is one of the best things in sports. But it was a non-competitive game 6. It was a blow. I mean,
Yeah, and
disappointing.
they went empty net. They get so many chances there at the end. They right at the net and just can't figure out a way to get it through. And then once you get the empty net goal, it's just like, all right, I guess I can turn this off. You didn't turn it off on Saturday when the Kings came from behind to win the United Bowl championship. I mean, they start the season off 0-3. They finally win a game. Then they blow up their whole team. I mean, at 1-3, you're not thinking this is even possible. They get towards the end of the year, you're like, oh, dang, they got a chance to make the playoffs. They get in the playoffs. They beat the Battlehawks on the road in a game where they were outpossessed 40-20. They figure out a way to win. And then the first half, they can't move the ball at all
Yeah.
against DC. And then it was just the same old story. The stats don't always look great, but they get timely turnovers, they get defensive touchdowns, and they figure out a way to win, and that's in their first year they get a United Bowl championship, which is, like we both said, is pretty cool.
No, it was awesome, and after watching the first half of that game, it was obviously concerning. You're going up against your former quarterback and Jason Bean, who you traded because you didn't think much highly of him. So now you're facing him in the UFL Bowl for the championship, and you go in the locker room down 16-7. You haven't moved the ball in the first half. You don't have any offensive points. The 7 was off a scoop and score, And then second half, it all clicked. The defense started playing better. They only gave up 4 points in the second half, all on that 4-point field goal. Shut them out in the third quarter. And then the offense got it moving. Wheeler with a 44-yard touchdown to start the fourth quarter. And then, you tack on another touchdown to go up 27 to 16, and you're looking good. And I mean, this is where the UFL unique rules come into play. You're up 27-16, and then all of a sudden a 4-point field goal gets it right back to a 7-point game with 9 minutes left. But big stand there at the end when DC was driving in the fourth quarter. Held them to a red zone stop on fourth down, and they got the dub.
Tanner Brown did it again. Had a 57-yarder, another 38-yarder. Like, you think maybe eventually he's gonna miss, and he just never does. We talked about it last week. Like, this dude is gonna be on an NFL roster. They didn't move the ball through the air hardly at all on Saturday, but they got enough on the ground and really started to move it on the ground in the second half. Did you get any gear yet?
Not
Are you
yet.
gonna get some gear?
Yeah, probably. Probably.
I just really hope, and I think they were. Like, it looked like the watch party at Parlor was pretty well attended. I think there were some folks that went to DC to watch the game. There was a great crowd there, and I'm sure the majority of them were DC fans, but looked like there were some Kings fans there. I hope that winning this championship continues to grow momentum, and we can fill Lynn Family Stadium next year, because it's been a fun product. And I criticize it at times. I think the football improved throughout the year, and obviously it proved enough for them to win a chip.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there was talks of a possible parade. I mean, I don't know if I'd go that far, but a lot of these
Do a
guys,
parade.
I mean, these guys, they don't even live here. They train. Everybody lived in Texas the whole season. They spent one day a month basically in Louisville. So they're not. I mean, are they connected to the city? Yeah, because they play for a team with the name Louisville on their jerseys, but like none of them actually like ever moved here. Like they got on a
Well, that's
plane,
not the
played,
way
and went back to Texas. So
it's
I
not the
mean,
way it's structured.
I know that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, sure, it's cool, but
Well, Mayor Greenberg talked on Twitter that he was putting something together. So hopefully, like, it just helps build momentum. I don't know how many people would show up for it. I mean, you don't want to risk the fact that you're having a parade and nobody's there.
I mean, maybe you do like a little pep rally at the at Lynn Stadium or something like that. You don't need a full on parade, but you do like a celebration. Let the fans take pictures with the trophy and the players and the autographs, and have like a little fan fest or something. Whatever. Have a celebration, but a parade might be overdoing it.
I don't disagree. I think just a little celebration at the stadium, yeah, would be perfect. But you have to have something
I
to
agree.
continue to build momentum for next year. And
Yeah.
it was cool. Like, Chris Redmond, like, you could see how excited he was that they won this thing, and he was excited to do it for the city. And
Yeah, I mean, he's a Louisville guy.
Eric Crawford wrote a bunch of good stories on it on WDRB.com, and just we really didn't know what to expect. Being in the United League, and it surpassed all expectations for me, and
No,
winning
I
a
think the
championship,
city, the
I was
city, I
very
think
happy.
really embraced it. I think we ended up finishing second in the league in attendance, if I'm not wrong, behind St. Louis. But the fans came out, they supported. I think they sold out at least the first game, maybe a couple high attended games after that. But yeah, I think the fans embraced it. Now that you win a championship, obviously more people are paying attention to it. So I think going into next year, season ticket sales should be pretty good.
And look, I think our show has to take a little bit of credit for getting that stupid overtime rule changed
Yes.
within the next week.
Yeah, Dean Blandino listens to the pod. He realized he was a jerk and an idiot and changed the rule.
I don't know if he realized he was a jerk and an idiot. I think that might be a little strong of wordsmithing there. But
I
he
mean,
did
when
realize
you
that the rule was intended for safety measures, but it doesn't work in real life. Like,
no,
they just didn't. I think that was their intent, or they didn't want somebody to keep committing a penalty on purpose over and over. But that's not what happened. The rule was stupid. The rule was stupid.
Dean, right. The rule was stupid. You ended the game on a penalty, and Dean realized he was a jerk and an idiot, and he was like, I was wrong.
And that was one of their 4 losses. Like, their record would be even better if that wasn't a loss.
I know.
Should have at least been
Also,
a tie.
speaking of the UFL, former Louisville Cardinal Jack Plummer named UFL MVP.
But couldn't get out of the semis there. You said on text, you are considering becoming a Louisville Kings season ticket holder for the 2027 season. Can we get a commitment?
No. It's still under consideration.
If you like, I would be really considered. Like, if you wanted to do it, I would maybe go in and
It's
not
not
work the
it's
games
not
next year.
bad. It's a reasonable price. You get it's only 4 games. It's not like it's a huge commitment, you know?
I think it was 5 last year.
Was it
They're
5?
10-game season, yeah. Because I worked
Okay.
4 of them, and there was 1 I didn't work.
Okay. So 5. It's a 5-game season. I mean, what are we looking at? About $200 probably.
I would say you could easily get probably decent seats for $200.
Yeah. So, I mean, after winning a championship, maybe the prices go up. Who knows? But we'll take it under advisement.
But get your gear before it's gone. Here's my strategy. I'll probably buy a
You're not
shirt
waiting
now.
for it to go on clearance? You're not waiting for, like, the
No, you gotta
clearance
get
sale?
one thing because you don't wanna risk the one thing you really want going away. So
Don't
you
really
buy
know
the
what
one
I
shirt
really
you
want.
want for, like, $30, and then you come back in a couple months or whatever when everything goes on clearance, and then you scoop up whatever else you might possibly.
Well, I
Like, I'm
saw
not gonna buy, 2 can koozies for $8, but when they go on sale for $1 in a couple months, let's go. Give me those things.
I mean, I saw our boy Carl H from the PRP. He's already placed that order.
He scooped a hat and a shirt. He scooped the mascot shirt, which looked
I
like
need
it
to
was
see it.
designed for children, but makes sense that Carl would want that one.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
But congrats to the Kings, congrats to Chris Redman and the rest of the team, and just fun to have another. I mean, obviously, you would like to have top level pro sports here in this city, but it's fun to have something to cheer for in the summer, and it was good to see
Yeah.
them win it all.
It was fun.
How much World Cup you been watching?
A decent amount. I've got it on right now. Argentina and Messi is playing Algeria. It's currently 1-0 Argentina here in the 27th minute. But yeah, I tuned in to a couple games, watched the Japan-Netherlands game. That ended in a 2-2 draw. Watched, what did I watch yesterday? I forgot who I watched yesterday. A couple games. They all ended in draws yesterday. Watched a little Spain in the Cape Cod or Cape Verde. Yeah.
So
Had to Google where they were.
you talk about draws. So there's just some random dude on social media, and he's betting draws in every game. $100 on the draw every game. And the first day of the tournament, I don't think there were a single draw, but since then there's been several, as you mentioned, and that Spain Cape Verde draw, I'm sure did pretty well off of
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
But no, I've been watching quite a bit. If I'm home and there's like it's on World Cup, and we were all together on Friday night at Saints to watch the USA kick it off against Paraguay, and what an atmosphere! And
Awesome.
it was a great atmosphere. Pulisic splits the defenders, and they get a goal to start the tournament. That place goes crazy. And then Balogun gets 2 goals. They end up winning 4-1. Great start for the USA. And we all, I think, probably had a few too many while watching that game on Friday night at Saints.
Yeah, no, it got rowdy. I mean, when you score in the 7th minute, I mean, the place is already juiced going. It's, first game of the World Cup. It's on the U.S. soil. The place is already ready to roll. And then to get that early goal, like the excitement was just off the charts. You get 3 first-half goals. You're just pounding Paraguay into submission. You end up winning 4-1, and Paraguay, what were they picked? I mean, if we go on world rankings, I think they were probably third in the group. So, it's a team that could be right there at the end of you. You're battling for a spot in the round of 32 with a team like Paraguay, and to absolutely beat the crap out of them is awesome. And then on the other side, you get an upset with Australia beating Turkey in our group. So
Say it correctly, please.
Turkey. I don't know, what is it. What do they call themselves now?
Turkey A.
Turkey A.
Turkey A.
Yeah, so they get upset 2-0 to Australia. So a big matchup Friday at 3 with the Aussies to be sitting in that driver's seat to be going to that round of 32.
Yeah, no, I get excited about the World Cup every time it's played, but to start it off with a 1-0 victory, but it being on our turf, it's even more exciting. And
Well, let's be honest, yeah, we all get excited about the world. Like, we get excited about when USA national teams play any sport. Like hockey, we were all excited. It could be the women's soccer team, we would all be
yeah, but
excited.
not
Olympic
any.
basketball, anytime the US is on and on the world stage, we're all excited.
Yeah, for sure. And I think sometimes even more so when it's not a sport that we watch religiously.
Correct.
Like that's I think you get excited to watch soccer because you don't have a soccer team. Like we've watched the Wrexham documentaries and we pull for Wrexham, but we're not watching intently every game to see if they win, you know? Uh, so it's fun to have such a big rooting interest. And are we going back to Saints on Friday? It is your birthday on
It
Friday.
is.
So
It
I do
is.
think that you have to choose what the plans are, but after that event last week, I think if it was my birthday, I'd be wanting to go back.
Possibility.
But you
I
don't
mean,
know yet.
I'm just a man of the people. I'll throw it. I'll take it to a group vote. I'll take it to a group vote. See what the majority of the pack wants to do, and we'll do that. But wherever I get the most people, that's what I want.
Well, you had all the people go there last week, so
That
I'm
was
sure
fun.
there might be one of our buddies that's gonna say no.
We have a couple of people. We do have a couple of people that are down on Saints. I mean, Saints is fine to me. My wife won $190 on the little slot machine playing Buffalo the other night, so she was happy. Vibes were high. I don't know. Maybe
When
we
was
go
that?
back.
When was that?
You don't remember that?
Guess not.
The 2 slot machines that are sitting there in the corner?
I do know, I remember
Yeah.
those, yeah.
Put in $20 and ended up profiting like $190.
Yeah, I don't know if I remember that. Friday was a long day. We had a scramble, had teed off in the rain at 8:00 in the morning. You went straight to the pool after that. I took a little nap, and then we were there late, so, yeah, I don't remember her winning $190. I was probably just in another area. I was probably just walked to another place. USA head coach Mauricio Pochettino, he is the first foreign not coach since Jurgen Klinsmann was the coach a few years ago. He's coached at Southampton, Tottenham Hotspur, Paris Saint-Germain, and Chelsea. But he made some comments about the culture of American sports. And I kind of just wanted to get your thoughts.
Okay.
He said their culture is playful. They want to play. We told them, guys, playing soccer is one thing, competing is another. They're two completely different sports. They grow up in a culture of playing. Why? If you start in MLS and you haven't won a game in 3 months and you're at the bottom, what's the consequence if there's no promotion or relegation? American sports reward losers with an exclamation point. But soccer is different. If you reward those who don't win, if you don't have goals, you don't fight. If I lose, what happens? Nothing. They just fire the coach. Also, the American player is disciplined, but with a sense of complacency that isn't good in soccer. It took us a year and a half to change that mentality. Do you think there's anything to that? And look, a lot of these guys aren't playing in MLS. And I think that's a reason why a lot of people have optimism for this team. But
Yeah.
do you think there's any truth to
Yeah,
what he had to say?
I agree with what he's saying about American pro in sports in general and rewarding the losing. And there's got to be some fixes to that. Like you reward NBA teams for tanking by giving them the number one draft pick and they get a superstar. You reward just like football. You reward the worst teams that lose. And soccer, there's no relegation. There's no relegation in any of our pro sports. But we don't really have what are you going to relegate the worst Major League Baseball team to the International League? Like, I mean, I don't know. You know, is Lou City going to get called up to play in the MLS? Maybe. I mean, soccer is probably your one sport that you can actually do this in. Others, not so much. But I mean, but I don't know the mentality of American athletes because, like you said, most of these good American athletes are playing overseas in soccer. Like they're playing for the best clubs. They're not playing in
Yeah.
MLS.
Well,
So
I think it's more the mentality of the ownership groups.
yeah, I would agree with that.
And look, like you've got players at the end of seasons when they're struggling that should be competing to try to get their contract extended or get a new contract. So I don't know if I buy completely what he said. I do think that the relegation aspect of it is really cool. I just think that yeah, soccer is the one sport I think here that it could work because your lower level teams like Louisville City and what's their league even called?
Oh, the
USFL?
USFL. No, USL.
Okay.
USL.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that's a tier 2 of soccer in the United States, and they're independent for the most part. So yeah, the relegation could potentially work in soccer, and I think it would be cool to try to figure that out. And as somebody from Louisville, would love for them, a team that's had success in their league, to get a chance to jump up. I think that would be really cool to watch. Would it be cool? And could it prevent tanking in other sports? Yes, but there's no foundation for it to happen.
No, and I 1,000% agree with you. It's the mentality of the owners. Some of these owners that own these, European top soccer teams, they're competitive. They want to win. They want to win. Their fans are lunatics over there. Like they want to win. Everybody wants to win. You come over here, you look like an ownership like the Cincinnati Reds, small market team. They don't spend a lot of money, and they know like all they just want to own a team. Like they don't put anything into it. As Castellini said a couple years ago, like to the fans, like where are you going to go? Where are the fans going to go? They got nowhere else to go. Like so, that's their mentality. It's the mentality of Mike Brown. Like Mike Brown is finally maybe starting to come around and putting a little effort into the Cincinnati Bengals. But there's half the ownership groups of these American pro sports teams that have the mentality of I want to win and I want to win whatever it takes. And then there's others that are like, I'm just happy to own a pro sports team. Look at me. And then I don't really give a shit. They don't put anything into it. Their payrolls
And
and it's reflected in the payrolls.
the relegation fixes that.
I agree.
Relegation fixes that. Like the Colorado Rockies would be in single A right now because they haven't done anything in forever. The Reds would be in danger of it.
I would agree.
They would be in danger of it. And
But there's nowhere else to go.
there's not, but it would make it just like those cheap owners would be held accountable and they would no longer be in the top level.
Do they do it in every sport over like in Europe? Like I know soccer, but like in like Euro basketball, like are there relegations and stuff in like basketball?
I think it's all structured the same way. I don't know 100%, but I think it's all structured the same way. And look, it's just little towns trying to compete with big cities,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And trying to figure out their way because they're all independently owned. So it would be like if the Louisville Bats could be independently owned and we put together our own team and you're trying to finish in the top 3 and it's not the International League Board, whatever it's called now, but trying to finish in the top 3 and taking the spots of the Rockies and the Reds and at the bottom 3.
And the Marlins and yeah.
Like I like that he brought the conversation up, but I think the players are the wrong people that show a lack of just urgency. It's the owners.
No, it's the owners. It's
the
not
owners.
the players. Like the players want to be their best because they want to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you ain't gonna make a lot of money unless you're at your best. So it's not the players' mentality, but I agree. I think it's 1,000% all on the owners.
Look, and like the NBA when they're tanking, you watch a game, like you watch a game with the Wizards or somebody the last couple of years, and at the end of the season, you don't even know any players on the team. So it ain't on the players. It's on the owners. And I we can get into the tanking stuff with the NBA because I really haven't dived in it too much yet. But they're trying to address the issues which need to be addressed. I don't know if what they've decided to do is the best way to do it, but you can't have teams not trying for what sometimes is the whole damn season.
Yeah. I mean, the Pacers were that way the whole season. Like, once
And
Halliburton
look,
was out, they just threw in there, like, I know Halliburton's great, but you were a Game 7 finals team last year, and you lose one player, and all of a sudden you have the 3rd worst league in record in the league. That's tanking. Even without Halliburton, you should be better than that.
well, they didn't even try.
No, they didn't try. They knew they weren't gonna win a title, and so they tried, and they failed at tanking.
They failed to take it because they didn't even get a draft pick. I don't know. There's I just think that it would be really cool if there was relegation in the United States, but it's a pipe dream because it's never gonna happen. There's too much money. Nobody's ever
There's
gonna
not
vote
enough
for it.
structure. There's not enough structure in the minor leagues for it to happen. Like, you've got ownership groups that own 7 different teams in minor league baseball, and there's not even, like, the G League? There's not
It
even
would
enough
also
teams in
have
the
to be
G
voted
League, like.
on by the ownership groups, and they're never gonna vote to
No, it's
say,
not,
"Yeah,
but, like, you
I
you
wanna
have to
give up
also
a
have a
14th loan
foundation
across the whole
below.
team."
You have to have a foundation of these lower leagues, and soccer, I think, has it the most, but football, basketball, I mean, there's not even like, the UFL has 8 teams, like, not gonna happen.
No, it's not. But I think it would be cool to try to see it happen
I agree, it would be cool,
in
but
soccer.
yeah.
We got the 3rd major coming up this week. The US Open will take place at Shinnecock Hills Golf Club in Southampton, New York. JJ Spawn is your defending champion. Rory and Aaron Rai have won the first 2 majors of the year. This is also a chance for Scottie to pick up the career Grand Slam. You were talking a little Scottie before. You said, is he ever going to not be a favorite to win a major or really a tournament in general because it's every single time
Every time.
he tees off? You're not taking Scottie here, I'm guessing.
I it just feels like it's been so long since he's won a tournament. We talked about it. Like, he's been there. He's got a couple. I mean, he won early on the season, but a couple top fives and finished, 11th, I think, at the Memorial, I think is what it was. But, like, I don't know. He's just always the favorite, and he's just hasn't been seeming to win lately. So, like, guys like Rory or guys like Fitzpatrick that have won, recently. Rory with the Masters and Fitzpatrick won a couple times here. I think he's won 3 times this season. But, like, some of these guys that have been winning more, I think should at least close the gap on Scottie. I mean, he's plus 500, and Rory's sitting there at second at plus 1,200. So close the gap on him a little bit.
Yeah, I could see Fitzpatrick he's a former US Open winner. He's won 3 times already this year. He's first in the FedEx Cup points. If you're looking for somebody to be a favorite over top of him, I'm guessing that maybe it could potentially be him. But I mean, dude, we're talking about Scottie not being Scottie, and he's got 7 top 10s and ranked second in the FedEx Cup. And we're surprised that he's not first in the FedEx Cup. To be honest, Fitzpatrick overtook him and is now first in those standings. But like, he's still the best player in the world,
Yeah.
and because he's the best player in the world, he's going to be the favorite to win every tournament that he's in. Now, am I going to take him every time? Probably not, because the numbers just aren't that great, and he hasn't been winning. But he's going to give you a chance at the end for the most part, and he's got motivation. You don't think he wants to check that one off his list to finish the slam a year after Rory did it?
Yeah.
I think some guys that I would like. I think Fitzpatrick is a guy you've got to look at. He's playing. Really, he's played better than anybody all year long, and that's why he leads the FedEx Cup. I think Cam Young's another guy that you really need to look at this week.
I like
Eh,
Fleetwood too.
I just like. He's gonna be there. I don't trust him to cross the finish line
I mean, didn't he get that monkey off his back in the last
in a
year?
30 man field
Oh.
in the
Yeah,
FedEx Cup
he
championship.
won the FedEx Cup champion. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So look, I know he crossed the finish line and won an event, but it's also a limited field
Yeah,
And
but yeah.
so I want to see him win a full tournament before I'm picking him to win something. I'm interested to see how Matt Fitzpatrick plays. Like, he's played really well since he got his card with Matt kind of carrying him there. He's competed, and then you talked about it. Wyndham Clark's been playing really well.
Uh,
Could be another guy. He's looking like he's like plus 4,500. Might be somebody that you look at. But last year, JJ Spawn was the only player to finish above par or below par, and he won the thing. This is the fifth time that it's been at Shinnecock. Brooks Koepka won the last time it was there, which was 2018. So I don't know.
are you taking Scotty?
No, I would take either Cam Young or I would take Matt Fitzpatrick.
Give me Fitzpatrick. That's my choice.
Will there be a live guy finish in the top 5?
Ooh, I could see Brooks Koepka getting up and maybe sneaking into that 5th spot. I don't think it'll be Rahm. I don't think it'll be Bryson. Bryson hasn't really shown me anything this year. It's been disappointing. I'm going to say no, but I think Brooks finishes top 10 right on the edge of that top 5.
Will there be a live guy finish ahead of Rory?
No. What do you think?
You're the big live supporter, so I thought maybe you would say yes to one of those. Will there be a live guy ahead of Scotty? So top live, the top
Scotty's
live
top 5.
finisher is going to be Koepka at what, 8th?
Yeah, around 8th. I got Rory ahead of that. I think, and Scotty will be top 5. I've got Rory right around 4th, 5th.
Does JJ Spawn or Aaron Rai compete? Are they in contention on Sunday?
No.
Neither one of them?
No.
I mean, you remember last year, JJ Spawn shot a 40 on the front 9.
Well, then he had a gazillion foot putt on 18.
Yeah, 65 footer on 18. We were in Charleston.
Yeah.
Watching
Reds.
it.
Reds on the
We were actually at Reds at that point.
Yeah, Reds on the river.
And he drills that 65 footer. So no Rye, no Spawn, no live guys. All Tommy, all Scotty, all Rory, all Matt Fitzpatrick.
Yep, those Englishmen, those Northern Ireland guys, the Europeans, I think, will be mostly up there in the top 5.
What will the final number be?
-4.
I might go -2.
Okay.
One other thing with this. So Scotty was asked, and I don't know if you've been noticing, like, he's had a little attitude in some of his answers here over the last.
He hasn't been winning.
So he was asked if he prefers going off late early or early late. So Thursday, Friday. So if you go off in the early group on Thursday, you go off in the late group on Friday, and vice versa. He ponders it for a minute and then just goes, no, not really. If you were a golfer, would you prefer one or the other?
Yes. I'd rather go late early.
And why?
2 reasons. Number 1, you go off late on day 1. You kind of see how the course is playing a little bit. You know, you can kind of get a feel for what the conditions are. And then if you're playing well, you can't wait to play again. So if you're playing well at the end of that, you want to get up and play again. So you're right back in it. Or if you're not playing well and you miss the cut, you miss it early and you get home. You get home early. You don't got
100%. I 100% think it's late early. 1,000%.
Yeah.
I don't want the big gap between my 2 rounds. Like, if I do play well, now I got to wait forever to play again the next day.
Yep.
If I play not well, I got to wait to play better that long. Like, I've got more time to get ready, but then I'm going to get in my head, I think.
Yeah.
Like, conditions play a role in a little bit of it, because sometimes it's going to be a little bit easier in the morning, but you want that on Friday if you're trying to make a move. So I think 1,000% it's going late, going early.
Or if you're missing, like I said, if you're missing the cut, you can get on out of there. You ain't got to wait around. You get home.
My goal is not to miss the cut.
In your own bed. But if you do, you're out of there early.
The one disadvantage would be being right there on the cut line and just having to sit there and wait. Like, at least if you're playing and you know what the number is and what you got to get to.
Yeah.
So that's probably the one positive for going early, late. But 1000%. I'm on the late early bandwagon. So we got to talk at some point some Golden Tempo, because Golden Tempo is all people want us to talk about on Facebook. I don't understand why. We talk Golden Tempo and we get millions of comments. We talk, do you want to golf and go to jail or win $5 million? And nobody cares. So we got to talk a little bit of Golden Tempo. He did move into the top 10 of the NTRA, moved into number 6. He is below Nisos, below Magnitude, below White Barrio, below Sovereignty, and below Forever Young. It's Golden Tempo there at 6, and then Bookham Dano, Deterministic, Skippy Longstocking, and Nitrogen. He's the only 3-year-old in the top 10. Do you think that's about where he belongs?
I think he is the top 3-year-old. I mean, he's proved us wrong. He's the top 3-year-old in a 3-year-old class that I'm on record for saying is not very strong. But he is a top 3-year-old, so I think he should be in the top 10 of overall, horses. 6 might be a little high to me. I mean, I think I would still have Journalism ahead of him and some others.
Journalism not even in the top 10. Journalism.
I know
is
he's sitting there. He's sitting there at 12. I don't know. I put him in the top 10, but I probably have him at 9 or 10.
Here's what I'd say. This is the highest he can possibly be.
Yeah.
6 is the highest this horse can possibly be. He cannot be above any of those top 5. But I'll be honest. Huh?
Those top 5 are really good.
Yeah, you're not putting him above Nisos, Magnitude, White Barrio, Sovereignty, or Forever Young. Like, no. I think 6 is the right spot. I mean, he won the Belmont. He won the Derby. He deserves to be in the top 10. I can see him being above those next 4. He's won big races. But yeah, I think 6 is the absolute perfect spot for him.
Yeah. I mean, he could prove us wrong again if he takes on these studs here in the Classic in November.
Well, we got a ways to go for that.
I know we do, but
we got a ways to go for that.
I really want to see him. I want to see him run against these horses, and I want to see it like tomorrow.
Well, it's not going to happen tomorrow.
Because I really want to know how good he is. That will tell me how good this horse really is.
Look, I know that you are a big fan of Sovereignty.
Yes.
And last year, Sovereignty did the same thing. He won the Derby. He won the Belmont. But then he went on to win the Dandy, and he went on to win the Travers. And would have
won the Classic.
Was going to be one of the favorites. I don't know if he would have won. There's really good horses in that.
I know there are.
That
field.
I don't think you can guarantee. But if Tempo runs in the Dandy, which is going to be against this same 3-year-old crop, it's shorter. But if he wins the Dandy and then goes to where now he's won the 3 races in a row that Sovereignty did, are you starting to think that he's at that same level?
Because I think Sovereignty beat better horses on his way to doing that last year. I just think the 3-year-old crop last year was just better than this year. I'm not trying to knock Tempo.
Right now, there's not a journalism in this crop. There's not.
Yeah, and there's not a Baeza or anybody. Like, there's not the quality of horses I think that there was last year. Tempo's proven me wrong. He's better than I thought he was. But I really want to see. I can't wait to see how good he really is when he runs against the quality of horses that we just mentioned. And if he can do something there, then I was really wrong. But I don't want to wait. I want it to happen like tomorrow.
Well, and the thing with Sovereignty is we didn't get to see that Breeders' Cup Classic last year.
I know.
Because he ended up scratching from it. So, and we've only seen him run once since then. And he came in second to White Barrio in the Oakland Handicap. So you still haven't really seen White Barrio or Sovereignty put up any kind of big win against older horses. So
we get to see that this year.
You're asking Tempo to do something that Sovereignty hasn't done to get to his level.
I mean, do you want to go over the speed figures of what Sovereignty won the Belmont in and what he won the Derby in compared to Tempo, or like what do you like? Do you think that Sovereignty is not as good as you think they're equal?
No, but I think Tempo has an opportunity to be as good a horse as Sovereignty.
The opportunities are there. There's no doubt. The opportunity is there. He just needs to keep winning.
Like, if
to
he
keep
goes and wins
winning.
the Dandy, and then he runs in the Travers, if he goes and wins the Travers, then he's definitely in the same category as Sovereignty, who won those same 4 races. But I want him to run in the Dandy because I want him to prove that he can win a shorter distance.
A short distance.
And if he figures out a way to win that race, and then he lines up for the Travers, and he's gonna be against his same crop, so, yeah, that's still gonna be the argument. Because if you still don't believe now, look, the rest of the crop could improve too. I still think
They
Commandment's a good
could.
horse.
They
I still
could.
think Renegade's a good horse.
I like to see the
Further
Puma.
ado
Yeah, I
further
really
ado
I want the Puma to get back.
I want the Puma to get back too. I feel like we ain't seen a Puma in forever. And he was one of my favorites in the Derby.
He was my
So, yeah, I
choice.
wanna see the Puma, but I'm just excited for this whole 3-year-old schedule, and I think next week we'll get in here and we'll talk a little Stephen Foster as we preview that because that looks like it's gonna be a heck of a race.
Sovereignty will be there for that one.
If we get this show real popular, there's a decent chance that we could eventually become trillionaires and join Elon Musk.
Trillion with a T.
Have you do you even understand what that number is?
No, it's like it's fake. It's just a fake number at this point.
So I'm trying to understand what it means, and I'm looking up some numbers. To make $1 trillion, the median full-time American worker who's making around $60,000 a year would have to work 16,795,432 years. That's longer than human beings have existed.
It's insane.
The distance between the Earth and the Moon is approximately 238,900 miles. If you lined up $1 trillion worth of $1 bills lengthwise, you want to guess how many times you could take a round trip around the moon and back?
I'm gonna say what 10?
202.
202. Okay.
The median home price in the U.S., this is back in 2023, is $412,000. At that rate, a trillionaire could afford to buy 2,427,184 homes. If you were to count $1 per second nonstop, do you know how many years it would take to reach 1 trillion?
Well, I mean, what's a trillion divided by 60 divided by 60 divided by 24 hours? And no idea.
31,700 years. If an individual spent $1 million every single day, do you know how many years it would take them to exhaust the entire 1 trillion?
How much we spend in a day?
$1 million every single day.
So 365 million a year. A lot of years. A lot of years.
2,740 years.
How do you get to that point?
How does any person have that much money?
How do you get to that point?
And what do you even do with it? What do you even do with it?
Go build rockets.
That's what he's doing. That's how he's making his money.
Build self-driving cars and stuff
They
like
just went
that.
public. That's how he's made his money.
I know.
It is the rockets. It's not comprehensible. It's really not.
Speaking of rockets and like rich people, whatever happened to Richard Branson in Virgin Mobile and Virgin Atlantic? Like that dude was on his way, and then I haven't heard about him in like a decade.
I have no idea.
You remember that though? Like the Virgin and like the Virgin whatever Atlantic rockets and stuff.
Not really.
He was building stuff like that.
Did he get to the moon?
Wasn't his company? Wasn't it Blue? Was it Blue Origin? Was that his company?
I have no idea.
Bezos is Blue Origin. Yeah, like he had. Was it Virgin Atlantic? Virgin something?
Isn't that a record company?
It was everything.
I think you're talking about a record company.
No, Richard Branson's space company. Virgin Galactic. Richard Branson's space company, Virgin Galactic, was a commercial space tourism and aerospace organization founded in 2004. But I haven't heard anything about them in like a decade.
Were they out of business?
They were on their way. Virgin Galactic was going to be like, you get in this thing and they takes people to the moon and like you just make it like a vacation. And then I haven't heard anything about them in a long, long time.
I guess I'd never heard about them because I didn't know what you're talking. How often did you? Who's usually cooking dinner for the fam over there?
Usually it's Erica. We've been eating out too much lately, but it's usually Erica.
So today I had some leftover ribs. Pops grilled
God.
some ribs
Were they
on
just, like,
Sunday.
on the plate? Were they just, like, on the plate in the
No, they
fridge
were
for 5 days?
the ribs were fine, and I put them in the oven, wrapped them in aluminum foil. They were delicious.
Uh-huh.
But I needed another side, so I was like, "Let's eat healthy." I had a bag of Brussels sprouts.
Mhm.
I've never really tried to make Brussels sprouts.
You just, like, cook them with some boiling water, right?
I steamed them. There was the one that you steam in the bag, and
Out of the
then
bag, yeah.
I was gonna put them in after I steamed them, put them in a frying pan with some extra virgin olive oil to kinda get them
You should put
crispy.
them in there. You got an air fryer? I think some air fryer. You
Yeah, I probably
leftovers
should
in
have
the air
done
fryer.
that.
Yeah.
But here I want them to be because when you get them in, like, a steakhouse or something, they're so good. I love them. I just
You
never
like
have.
'em crispy, a little crunchy? Like, what do
Yeah,
you
yeah, a little crunchy, and that's what I
Yeah.
was trying to do.
Yeah, yeah.
So I throw them in with some olive oil after I had steamed them for a couple minutes to get them not frozen. Go to pepper them, use the wrong side of the pepper, and basically half the pepper bottle goes in there.
You start
So
sneezing?
I'm like, "Now, how can I dilute this pepper?" So I'm looking to see what other vegetable I could probably throw in there just to make it to be more vegetables, so then it becomes less pepper. That's my mindset.
Yeah.
So I had a can of corn. I throw that in there. I was like, corn and Brussels will go well together.
Okay.
Bro, I can't even, it was so peppery. I still couldn't eat it. It just, because I threw the corn in there with just the juice or the water or whatever it is, hoping that it would soak up some of that water. It's all just pepper, straight pepper juice. I tried to eat it. I'm sneezing for 5
So you
minutes.
gotta be sneezing.
It was, I've ruined my Brussels. So when you're using pepper, look at the side you open.
Well, yeah, that's
I've
yeah.
never made the mistake before,
Okay.
but I ruined a perfectly good bag of Brussels sprouts, a can of corn. I tried to eat it. I put it on my plate and I took like 2 bites and I'm like, no, I was like, do I try to throw something in there to salvage it or am I just going to ruin
Where'd you
something
get the
else?
let's get back to the ribs. I don't care about your Brussels anymore. Let's talk about these ribs. Where'd you get the ribs from?
On Sunday, Pops grilled a ton of ribs on Sunday.
Pops out there on you got like a smoker? Is he just doing the grill? What's he got
He
out there?
smoked them all day. Smoked them
Okay.
all day.
Okay.
And I took home 2 little 4-piece ribs, like good little size ribs
Yeah.
with 4 bones in each of them, and had a little bit of macaroni and cheese left over that mom made. And I was like, but I want another side because I'll eat 1 rack of ribs today and then I'll eat tomorrow. Well, because I ruined the Brussels, I ate all the ribs today and the mac and cheese. And now I'm out of food. But they were good, dude. Pops did a good job. Pops did a good job.
Bruce, I need to know the next time he's making some ribs. I'll make my way over there.
Well, I'm
Speaking of
sure you'll like.
ribs, I saw a commercial for Applebee's. It's like $14.99, all you can eat boneless wings and riblets. So while you're over there going to your Applebee's
Hold
IHOP
on. Are
combo,
you coming?
no, yeah, I mean, when you're out there at your Applebee's IHOP combo, when you're eating your double stack of pancakes, you can get yourself a side of all you can eat riblets.
So to me, it's still wild that there is an Applebee's IHOP combo restaurant. It's been wild from the beginning. But if you want beer with your pancakes, I guess it makes sense. And I will say, the IHOP Applebee's combo that just opened this week or last on the Dixie Highway has been absolutely slammed ever since it opened.
That surprises me none. Surprises me none.
Absolutely slammed.
Surprises me none.
But if you want to go out there and get you some riblets, and then afterwards get some dessert pancakes. I mean, you think about it, it works.
Does it work?
You
It's
you
working.
you get your pancakes, you get some chicken tenders, then you make a little taco out of that.
Get yourself an Owen cheeseburger.
Yeah. I mean, will I ever go in there? Probably not.
No,
Is
you
there a
gotta do
chance
it.
that
I want you to go in there and then give us the honest review here on the podcast.
on the pod?
I mean, maybe we'll go together. We can pick a day. We'll go out there together.
I think we need more content. It could be funny. We
The
we
Applebee's IHOP combo. I mean, apparently we gotta make a reservation, so see if you can
I
get us a
think we
see if you
do,
can get us a
and
table for 2.
we might have to do it a week in advance at the way it looks right now.
See if you can
Lines
squeeze us
out the
in for a
door.
table
Lines
for
out the
2.
door.
I'll check Open Table and see if they got any open spots.
I'll look into it. I'll try to get us on a list. But no, I think that would be a good idea, and I think this Tuesday when we play next Tuesday when we play a little golf for Father's Day with the pops and the father-in-law, the 2 Bruces.
Bruce's, yeah.
We need to record some video. We will do the test of me on the 3rd hole to determine if I win $5 million or if I will go to jail. So I think we need to record that. And maybe just a couple holes where we play against each other. And then maybe a couple holes with the Bruces playing against each other. Who's gonna win that? How good's Bruce Vall been playing? Do you know?
I haven't played with him this year. I think he's doing pretty well.
Because my Bruce is playing 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah, I think your Bruce is probably a little bit better than Bruce Fall, but
because he's so excited about it. He was talking about what the teams would be, and
tough course.
yeah,
Normally
you're
we've
gonna
played
beat
there
me there
before.
normally.
Like we know, we're familiar with it. Your dad's played with us there last year. This will be Bruce
Yeah.
Ball's first time there,
Yeah.
so it'll be a little bit of an adjustment, I think.
Are they gonna play up, or what are we gonna do there?
Yeah, I think senior tees for at least them. You can play up too if you want to. I mean, you're
We'll
old as
figure
hell
it out.
too.
We'll
I
figure
mean,
it
what
out.
are you now? 55. I think you qualify.
Not 55 yet. Still got a long way to go for 55, and I'm old enough. I don't need to be adding additional years to my age because I already had a hard enough time saying I'm 45 because it just doesn't seem real. But all right, I don't think I have anything else.
Nope. Joe didn't give us a what would Joe do.
Joe sucks.
Joe does suck.
He asked us if we wanted something morally, like something moral, or if we wanted something fun. And I'm like, dude, something fun. We ain't trying to get too deep. And then he just ghosts us. Just straight ghost.
Sad.
I think before we get off, we got prayers up for Kenny Klein, who's going through a little medical issue right now. And the prayers are working right now. So just keep sending them. And just let him know that with his family, all of our thoughts and prayers are with them, and we want to see Kenny get out of this.
Yeah, one of the best.
The absolute GOAT. And just seeing the amount of local media and national media that have talked about him, and just to be a small part of what he did at Louisville for 40 years was such an honor. And I want nothing more than him to get out of there. So sorry to end this on a sad note, but I had to say something. For the 660 Neil, I am the 410 Nick. You've been listening to Height Differential. Remember to follow us on social media at Height Differential. Rate and leave a review on whatever podcast provider you are listening to. And I guess next week we'll talk World Cup or whatever. We'll wrap up the U.S. Open. It won't be on Tuesday night, I bet, because we're playing golf. So I bet we'll record on Wednesday of next week. For Neil, I'm Nick. We'll talk to you next week.
Give it to me.
Did you just get that shirt?
Do what?
Did you just get that shirt?
Like last Wednesday, ordered it on Amazon, got here on Thursday, wore it to the Saints on Friday. Bro, you was just out of it as Saints.
You wore that on Friday?
Yes. Well, I bought it for the World Cup.